The evidence of the lateral or horizontal function of the pattern of 8, the magic square of 8 as the Psy-Bank matrix, becomes totally manifest when we demonstrate the underlying relationship of the numbers in sequential relationship. What appears is a pattern of perfect symmetry in every respect, the template of psychocultural transformation, the holonomic recollection circuit itself. The bilateral division into northern and southern hemispheres is accomplished in the following manner. The numbers 1 through 8 and the numbers 9 through 16 clearly form two distinct weaves in the northern hemisphere of the total circuit. A major crossover occurs in the southern hemisphere, consisting of the four distinct pattern waves, 17 through 24, 25 through 32, 33 through 40, and the 41 through 48. The crossover from 48 to 49 complements and reverses the flow that occurs between 16 and 17. Also, by the time the pattern reaches 48, the entire weave of the southern hemisphere has been completed. What follows then are the two penultimate and final stages, patterns 49 and 56, and the final 57 to 64. What is clearly manifest is the total structure of 64 units of the Psi matrix divide perfectly into 8 distinct subweaves. The second feature is the overall process. The first 2 stages are complete in the upper hemisphere, then the next 4 comprise the southern hemisphere, followed by a return to the upper hemisphere where the last 2 weaves are finally finished. In other words, we have a 3-stage process completed within 2 symmetrical mirror reflection patterns, the binary triplet configured pattern once again. Keeping in mind that the pattern provided by the numbers is the matrix of the genetic code and I-Ching, as well as that of the Psy-Bank electromagnetic global field, all cued and integrated through a primary binary triplet configuration with its dynamic, the crossover polarity. We may develop a more comprehensive description of this pattern as the template of psychocultural transformation. To begin with, there is the DNA double helix analogy. Like DNA, this template consists of 2 strands, one of them processing the information pattern of both strands. This corresponds to the upper template, which contains both the beginning and the end, 1 and 64, the alpha and the omega of the process. It is also notable that the alpha and the omega, beginning and the end, conjoined, are right next to each other. Given the dynamic of the binary pulse of history, comprised of the interaction of 2 information processing currents, the AC, visionary corresponding to the primary DNA strand, and CA, derivative, cumulative, we may define the upper and northern hemispheres as the AC. We may define the upper and northern hemispheres as the AC template and the southern as the CA template. Given that the CA current is responsible for the new phenomena known as civilization and the process of history itself, we may conclude that stages 1 through 16 AC correspond to the prehistoric stage, 17 through 48 CA, the stage of history, and 49 through 64 AC, post-history. Like the tripart Kua of I Ching, this three-part division of history unfolds as 8 distinct weaves, the 8 stages of holonomic recollection, consisting of 64 Kua, in 8 consecutive series of 8 Kua each. From this we see the upper template, the AC, is the template of pre- and post-history, and the lower of the history itself. The 8 stages of holonomic recollection break down into the following arrangement. Prehistoric 1 through 8. Aboriginal emergent. The deep past. Prehistoric 9 through 16. Aboriginal generative. The near past and historically concurrent Aborigines, i.e., Australians, Eskimos, etc. Historic 17 through 24. Hieratic pristine. The 7 pristine civilizations in their pure emergent development. Historic 25 through 32. Hieratic imperial. The expansive latter stage of the ancient world. Historic 33 through 40. Medieval cosmopolitan. Historic 41 through 48. Global industrial, the modern world. Post-historic 49 through 56. Radiosonic, sensory fusion technology, the near future. 57 through 64. Holonomic, proto-galactic community, distant future.